real quick story. So I think it's like my third time telling this only. I think only third time. Anyway, 2014, it's October. I remember waking up thinking I forgot to do something. And all of a sudden, this had never happened to me before. Like my heart just starts palpitating almost uncontrollably. I start sweating. And the best way I can describe it, I could not conjure up a logical thought. I literally felt like my mind was leaving me. And so this went on for like a couple of minutes, and my wife, she doesn't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't talk. I can't tell her what's going on. And then just after a while, everything kind of subsided. And I explained what I was feeling to my wife. And so she reached out to somebody that she thought may be able to give some perspective. And once we kind of articulated what was going on, the person was like, Dharius, I think you just had an anxiety attack. I was like, anxiety attack? I don't have anxiety. I've never had any issues with anxiety. And so she was like, well, what's going on right now? And then I thought about it. It was my first book deal. I was behind on a deadline there. I was in my last year of doctoral work. And so I had a deadline with my final project. I was in 2 building campaigns. One was a fight because the community didn't want us to build there. And I was probably taking about, at that point, I was probably speaking about 50 times a year. So all of this is going on at the same time. So the lady asked, she said, are y'all in financial trouble? Why are you doing all this? And I was like, no. And at that moment, I knew I needed 2 things. I said, I gotta get me a therapist to deal with my past. And I gotta get me a coach to deal with my future. And literally at that moment I said, because like, it didn't make sense. And so basically after some digging and therapy, what I discovered was this. I discovered that I was living my life chasing an emotion, being driven by emotional needs, not being driven by my purpose.
Explain that.
So this is what I mean. Primarily, all our emotional issues are going to be unique, but the majority of them can be traced back to 2 factors. Early on in life, during our formative years, somebody did something that they shouldn't have done, or somebody didn't do enough of what they should have done. So here's the thing though, amazing home, amazing family, etc. But I grew up in the South. We're in the South now, I'm talking about. But I grew up in Mississippi. And so just the men in that area were not very vocal men. And there may have been reasons for that, right? But they just weren't. So for me, growing up, the affirmation that I got was always tied to accomplishing something.
Yeah.
You get good grades, then it's affirmation. You play a good game, then it's affirmation. So here's the thing though about emotional issues. Sometimes they show up in ways that don't look dysfunctional. So my mind was programmed that you got to accomplish, because that's what helped me feel better about me. What's scary is during that season of my life, all my peers were celebrating my self-destructive behavior.
Oh my God.
So I didn't know I'm destroying, I didn't know I'm killing myself on the inside, but everybody from the outside is looking like, you killing it. And I didn't know it was killing me. And you can't chase purpose and needs at the same time. So that year, I mean, that led to just a lot of intensive work. And what I saw, this is so weird. It's like, I saw not only the damage that was done to me, I also saw the damage that was done to my team, who was forced to run at an unsustainable pace because I was being driven by ambition and not necessarily assignment. And so I didn't even know they loved and respected me too much to articulate what they were actually feeling. And you know, you and me have talked about this before. It is my philosophy. You don't go as far as your dream. You go as far as your team. And it was affecting my team. It was affecting my family. And so I literally, and I agree with Donnie so much. Like I'm not, I can't even say at this point that there isn't times where I don't feel that tug. I think, you know, what emotional intelligence is it gives you awareness. So you move from self-awareness now to self-management, so that you know how to manage it. But long story short, I submitted to intense therapy. I submitted to intense coaching, and I clarified my calling. And I learned this, that purpose not only makes you say yes, purpose makes you say no. Purpose helps you discern, is this an opportunity or is this a trap playing dress up? Ooh. And because some doors are trap doors, like every door, like every need, I had to learn, every need's not your responsibility. And when I made that pivot, not only did I get more peace, but also everything else in every other area flowed so easy. It came almost not without work, but compared to what I was doing and the results I was getting, when I got in my lane, or as Coach Kelly says, my divine assignment, clarified that, it was game over. My passion for coaching came from my experience with a coach. During that period, I say, the way this guy just helped me, I want to use part of my life helping other people that way.
So good.
I want to just maybe open it up for Q&A, because I got being honest. I want to go home. I got some work to do. Like there's so many things that are running through my head, and I just wish I had a notebook, because I don't want to lose. I want to lose what I know I need to do to go to the next level of my life. And obviously in these entrepreneurial arenas, we think of the next level as more money. Yeah. But I'm seeing next level is the next level being of myself. Can I be happier? Can I have more peace? When you said peace, the word just gave so much weight. Yeah. You can't chase purpose and needs at the same time. Okay, let's open it up for Q&A. Let's do this. Maybe we could just have a line here. We'll take a few and then we'll get out of here. But enjoying yourself so far, y'all? Yeah. Anybody having some moments So we'll just maybe take a few questions here. Yeah, just come around. Yeah.
While they're getting ready up there, Shans, one thing that I noticed is that we all have common issues, right? Common needs, common thoughts, common experiences. Like what you guys should be getting from this, very similar to what I'm getting from this, is that we're not so different. No. We're not so different. What you think you're going through right now, your own personal issue that nobody else will understand, squash. Right here. Most of these people had not met before tonight. And we all have a very, very similar story. I think it's very interesting to see.
Go ahead. What's your question? Where's that? Make sure we're social distance.
Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Kitten. I'm in the morning meetup with David. So this question is for Kelly. You had mentioned that you didn't feel like you had a story. And I was just kind of wondering, why were you judging yourself off of other people's standards, or what's the reason why you felt like you didn't have a story?
I felt that way because when I hear speakers speak and I study speakers, when I'm going to do something, I'm going to be really good at it. So I studied speakers, and I would notice that there was always a triumph story. Mm-hmm. Like they were in a dark place and then they came out of a dark place. And I didn't have that. So I had to dig and say, well, what is my story of where did I turn the corner? And I realized at some point in my life, I had on golden handcuffs from the government. I put silver handcuffs on people, but they had gold handcuffs on me. So that was my story, because there's so many people that believe that they can't leave their job. They have on golden handcuffs. So that became my story.
Nice. Thank you.
Good question. Good question.
Thank you. So my question is for Dharius. So you said we can't chase our purpose. Right here. So you said we can't chase our purpose and our needs at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you create the balance between chasing your purpose and your needs at the same time?
Yeah, I think, what I would say, I'll say what I feel like served me well, kind of in that season. It was, I'm not saying that on your journey to making the contribution to the world that you're supposed to make, that you will not have to simultaneously address needs. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, it is one thing to have those needs. It's another thing for those needs to have you. Or put it this way, like my emotional needs should be indicators, not dictators. And so when they're driving your decisions, when they're clouding your clarity, when they aren't allowing you to say yes where you're supposed to say yes and no where you're supposed to say no, then it is just absolutely impossible to actually carry out the thing you've been called to carry out. And so there will never be a degree of perfection, but there has to be a degree of mastery if you're actually going to succeed in life and in business.
That's good.
Can I add to that real quick? Yes, please. Because the young lady asked about balance. I've come not to believe in balance. I don't think it exists, but there is rhythm. And so as Dr. Dharius said, as you're looking at purpose and you're looking at the need, create a rhythm, something that is in harmony with each other, the ups and the downs.